Okay, so a friend of mine who works at a haunted house here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, who was also a horror memorabilia, comic book, and action figure type collector, recently posted on Facebook that he wanted to sell his collection. Not so much because he was getting out of horror, but just he felt like it was time to get out of collecting. So I contacted him to find out what he had for sale and what kind of money we were looking at. And I immediately had to go over to his place. And yeah, so what I'm going to show in this video is the bulk of the stuff that we were able to bring home, and there's still some stuff that is left out there at his place that I have to go back out and pick up, like a full-size 3-shooter SNK arcade game called Beastbusters, 3 large prints or 3 large framed posters of Evil Dead 2, and a zombie in transition. Some pretty cool stuff out there still to pick up. But here, as we can see, was quite the haul. Let's see if I can do this without getting into the light. The Vampirella action figure, Capcom's Resident Evil action figure, a Metal Gear action figure, some the white bags in the back are the McFarlane Monsters Series 1 and 2 that he had taken out of the box and put on display at his place, which even as an action figure collector or a collector myself, I fully endorse the practice of doing that from time to time. Over here you can see a Jason mask, a bunch of miscellany, those skulls that with the helmets are actually shift knobs, some meanie babies, the Devil Doc, some vertebrae, candle holders. Back in here you can see some more miscellaneous action figures, a laser print of some sort. What Would Zombies Do? The What Would Zombies Do party game. Misfits, incense, some random Japanimation diecast collectibles, the Marvel Zombies comic book. That's actually a hardbound, a very old, creepy number 144. I want to say it was, if I remember correctly, it was the 1983. Down here you can see Leatherface Goblet, Zombies Hot Sauce, Afro Samurai, the action figure, Jason mask, Nihilist chewing gum. Interesting thing about that, it has no flavor. You just chew it, and it has no flavor. This bizarre little contraption is a coffin crank key. You put it into a coffin, crank it down, it seals it up nice and airtight. Kind of a cool little thing to have. Miscellaneous pins, highlighter from the Reanimator, some more stuff like that. Figurine, action figure. This is actually Jack Skellington in about a 14-inch action figure. Misfits, still in the coffins, both Doyle and Jerry only. Flesh-eating zombies, horrified B-movie victims. Okay, here, the 9th Gate energy drink. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 13th Gate energy drink. Curse of the Spawn, Colonel America Zombie, Zombie Hulk, Texas Chainsaw Massacre McFarlane, Movie Maniacs, Army of Darkness, the infamous Freddy Krueger, Zombie Spider-Man, Jason, Army of Darkness. In the back we have Evil Ash and the 12-inch action figure still in the box. The Friday the 13th 25th anniversary. It's actually the 25th anniversary part 2 box set. Some more Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. The metal box, metal collectible 10 from Assassin's Creed, though the actual game is not in there. That's the complete set, the complete series of the Nightmare on Elm Street boxed, Nightmare on Elm Street's collector cards. Something Dion really thought was kind of cool. A skull cookie jar, another skull, and then a box of various horror comics to include such great hits as Marvel Zombies. Most of the stuff that was in here was zombie stuff. Evil Dead. Back in here we had like The Walking Dead. But as you can clearly see, it's a pretty nice box of comics. So yeah, that's kind of it. I also picked up a die-cast collectible from Votron that has 5 lions that you assemble into a single gigantic robot. Supposedly very collectible, also very desired by my son. So yeah, I think this was a pretty decent collectible, or collector's haul. Misfits. Who doesn't love them? A Misfits clock. Original artwork werewolf, which I thought was incredibly well done. Very cool. Great piece for a werewolf collector. We have another werewolf collectible. Evil Ernie action figure, which quite honestly I barely remember Chaos Comics, much less the Evil Ernie. That back there is a Psycho Mansion, the Bates Mansion from Psycho, all plastic assembly kit. So yeah, that's kind of a really unique Psycho piece to go along with it. You can barely tell it's there. Bates Motel, light up sign. That's a Capcom Resident Evil, badass Resident Evil clock. According to the gentleman I bought this stuff from, the clock was not actually for sale. It was a Capcom promotional giveaway item, or one that he was given by a Capcom agent when he worked at a game store. Something everybody needs, the zombie brain gelatin mold. And I will be getting videos this coming weekend of my son as he plays SNK's Beastbusters arcade game with 3-position machine gun shooter and blows up zombies and werewolves. So it should be a lot of fun to watch him play this weekend. I know he had a blast when we were over at the gentleman's house last night. So again, what a collection of stuff to add to our already humongous collection of Living Dead dolls and action figures. That's Alice Cooper on a tablecloth that was actually hand doodled by Alice Cooper at Texas Frightmare and given to us by the incredibly awesome Cinnamon Girl. Some more stuff up there. And then of course we have a bunch of the Kiss action figures. More Living Dead dolls. Living Dead dolls and Living Dead dolls. So yeah, there you go.